Here at the No Confidence Convoy in Canberra. Over here we have Parliament House. And over here we have the beginning of the crowd. I'm here with Shane Stafford from Richmond, North Queensland. Shane, you've come a long way today?
Yeah, James, we've took off on Friday and we've come about, I think it was 2,138 kilometres.
What vehicle did you come down in?
I come down in yeah.
And you're all signed up?
Yeah, no, we're all ready to go. I think 1 o'clock we've got a speak here today. So.
How many people in Richmond, in North Queensland, do you think your presence here represents?
Oh, I think the whole town. I've got great support. I've been getting phone calls from home and our general district. So, yeah, I think 100%.
What do you want to tell the people in Canberra and the people in Australia about your motive for being here today?
Well, I think pretty well all of us, the story is that we're hurting genuinely, emotionally, financially. It's affecting, everybody in North Australia, particularly us that have been affected through Joe Ludwig's decision to temporarily close the live export market.
Do you think that Julia Gillard played a part in that decision, or do you think he just did it off his back?
Well, obviously, she's the boss, and if there's trouble, in the camp, well, if you're the boss, well, you should take some responsibility of it.
I understand that in Queensland, since 2009, $8 billion worth of rural property has been sold to various Chinese organisations, government or whatever. $8 billion worth of rural properties. A lot of these properties, it's alleged, have gas underneath. Do you think that the stopping of the live export trade will result in falling prices in Northern Territory?
Oh, that's unquestionable. The Hydrus report that was done for DAF, within that report it's been mentioned, and I could quote out of the report because I've read it, that the agents in the Northern Territory expect the property values are possibly affected from 40 to 50% of their original value.
Have you heard of any of them being bought up by Chinese yet?
I have not. I know that have been foreign interests looking at properties there, but to date I haven't heard of any successful sales.
You heard in New South Wales early this year, $600 million worth of properties were bought, 43 properties.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that.
There's so much information is out there, it's very hard to get a grip of it all, and no one seems to care about China buying up Australia.
Yeah, well, that's probably a bigger picture than where I'm involved, but I know on the ground that, at home, our people are really hurting, and sadly a lot of them aren't going to make it.
It's a huge reflection on why Australians aren't buying other Australian properties.
Oh, the people that are out there aren't in a situation to be increasing their property investments, that's for sure.
And there's no new blood can come in.
The sad part about it is the people that are there and the children, and I see them, and the families, as I say, they're not going to make it. And you've got generations of people who understand the land are going to have to move on.
So, from a carbon tax perspective, do you think the carbon tax was also part of the trade-off to the Greens as the live export appears to have been?
Well, it's quite obvious, that there was some intent to it.
Yes, I'd say you're right there. Indeed. So, with regard to numbers coming here today, so many people are so fly-blown in the bush, they just can't get here.
Oh, James, look, we've had so much support, people at their front gate with flags and banners and waving and wishing as well. Come in at Blackall and Burke where we overnighted, chucked a feed together, helped us out, but they're just not financially going well enough to be able to join us. But we thank them for their support.
It's a good thank you to the people of Burke and everyone in Australia that helped the convoy gatherers come to Canberra. So, Do you think that Gillard has done anything worthwhile as a Prime Minister?
Well, we're not aware of anything up to date, but we'd love to be surprised.
Yeah, we'd love to be surprised. So if you're a Prime Minister and there's not one thing that one can hang a hat on that reflects that you've done something capable, it's a pretty good reason for no confidence, isn't it?
I would suggest that's it. And the statement from all us here today is, Julia, we've had enough. Let's see the back end of it.
Yeah. What have you got to say to Tony Windsor, the member for New England?
Well, I think Tony has totally let down the people within his area, and I think that'll be noted at the next election.
Are you aware of the activities of the Australian Tea Party to endeavour to help coordinate the proliferation of political parties and anti-carbon tax organisations?
James, to be honest, I hadn't heard of the Tea Party before I became involved in helping on this, historic event. But I'm learning a lot as I'm going, and it's great to see so many people, trying to help whichever way they can.
With the stock and station agency business, you're really on the so-called coalface of the rural industry there, aren't you?
Certainly are, James, and like from May, when the season's supposed to open in the Northern Territory, where we've got a considerable interest within the industry, we had no income. Just went to total no income. But
and that reflects the shocking situation, the heartbreak of your clients.
Well,
which is a heartbreak for you.
That's the big point. I mean, we're commission agents, so we get a little bit off the bottom. But the people that are out there, and the pioneering families that have put in the hard yards over the year, they've lost all their income, and it's unbelievable amount of money to them.
Just one more thing, Shane. What have you got to say to the ABC and the animals rights organisation that filmed with the ABC those cattle in Indonesia that weren't Australian cattle, that were filmed up to months before the program was shown? What have you got to say to them about not giving that information and that material to the leader of the opposition so that something could be done to protect Australian cattle from that kind of abuse?
Well, I think it's just shameful. I mean, you can see the people here today, as you would have heard Rashida speak earlier, grown men and that coming into and actually crying. I mean, surely that doesn't make them proud to see what they've done.
It would have been far sensible had that material that was filmed in Indonesia been shown, instead of being held back for an expose or an exclusivity report.
James, all I can say on it is that in 2009 I was fortunate enough to go to Indonesia, and I inspected a lot of feedlots and abattoirs, and I certainly didn't see any of that. As a matter of fact, I came away with just nothing but admiration for the people, how they cared for their animals and the whole process.
So, if you'd have known of any abattoir like that, you would have immediately told the Australian authorities and said, we're not going to don't send any export Australian cattle to those abattoirs. You'd have virtually blackmailed them.
We're animal lovers. I mean, all graziers are, and I mean, that's the last thing that we would have wanted to see.
So what could possibly be behind the motive of Gillard to not have a question when this film was made, who the cattle, what breed of cattle they were, and what could be done to encourage the Indonesians not even to slaughter their own cattle in that way?
Yeah, well, I think all this comes down to lack of respect, for the Australian people.
Thank you very much, Shane.
Thank you.